In this video, guys, we're going to talk about how do you not leave money on the table when exiting trades. Stay tuned. Hey traders, a very warm welcome to you. Alright, so this came in as a comment on one of my videos. I don't have the user, but thank you very much anyway for your comments and all your comments, questions, etc. If we can answer them in the actual comments, we'll do. If they are something that's maybe a popular question, then we'll do a video about it. Like this, great question, great question. How do I avoid leaving money on the table during trades? The short answer is you can't, and you have to be comfortable with it. You know, if that's not the answer that you'd hope for, I'm sorry, but it's the case. We have to be comfortable with leaving money on the table, because unless we get the high tick for every long, the short tick for every low, we're always going to leave money on the table. It's always going to happen. It's absolutely impossible for any trader to capture the whole swing of every trade they go into. There's many things that are not uncertain, and many things I kind of add a caveat to and go, oh, I'm sure there's someone out there doing that, you know, when I talk about certain styles and strategies and stuff. But I can assure you that there is definitely nobody out there who is catching the low and the high of every move in trading. If they say they are, then they're lying. It's absolutely not going to be happening. The biggest and best traders in the world, they're often one or the other, right? i.e. they're trend traders or they're counter trend traders. And Tudor Jones specifically has said, yes, his fund is different now, but when he was trading more aggressively, he said, hey, I'm very good at catching the end of trends. I'm very good at catching the turn. I'm not very good at catching the rest of it. I've read traders' interviews where they said they're very good at catching the meat in the middle, and traders who have said they're very good at catching kind of the last bit of the trend before it kind of flushes and stuff. So everyone's different, and the commonality between that is that no one's good at it at all. No one's good at riding the whole thing all the way. Because it just doesn't happen. So, you know, rather than approaching it, and guys, listen, everyone's gone through this cycle of how do I make sure I, you know, extract the most money. That's a different question. Extracting the most money from a deal, from a trade, is a different question from how can I ensure I don't leave money on the table. When you go to that first question of how do I make sure that I extract the most money from the deal, that's a case of going back and seeing, okay, can I tweak my exits? Can I ratchet up my stops? Can I do this? Can I do that? Can I do the other to ensure I'm maximizing it, getting the market pay for me, making sure I'm not closing trades too early, and pyramiding into trades, etc., etc. I've done loads of videos on that kind of thing. However, when we talk about I want to make sure I don't leave money on the table, then you need to reframe the question and say, I need to accept that I'm going to leave money on the table. What I want to do as a trader is find the most high probability section and area that I can get in to take some meat out of the market. And if I can do that with relative consistency, then you're on to a winner. You know, that's all we need to do as traders. We don't need to take the whole move. And if you think about it from a financial perspective, monetary perspective, you take the whole move to one position size, you take a tenth of the move at 10 times the position size, you're making the same money. You know, the game isn't won by getting the top tick or the bottom tick. The game isn't won by, you know, calling a market, calling that up, calling that down. I told you it would touch that level. That's the amateur's game, guys. The game that we want to be in is the high probability game of, and if that high probability section is that out of that, then that's what we take. If the high probability section is that out of that, then that's what we take. You know, the idea is to try and slide in to the market when the optimum time is for us to be involved. And so being prepared to leave money on the table is what it is. So for example, let's say we went into a market looking to get a chunk after the initial drive. We're looking to jump on it, and there's rules and filters and stuff to jump on it, and then we're looking to add to the position and get on it and move for a momentum ignition is what we call it. But the point is, we're not worried about this early part. That's just the signal to get into the more substantial part, and then also the exit. We're looking for that, whatever the rules are on the exit. We're not looking for try and get the top tick. We're looking to take the high probability section. And so we then refine our process and become better and better at that, as opposed to trying to work out where it's going to end, where it's going to close, or where it's going to reverse, sorry. Because then you're trying to do too many things, and you're beating yourself up for a bad entry and potentially a bad exit. Now there's a fine line, as I alluded to earlier, between kind of not sticking to your plan and not letting trades run that have got the potential potential to run, that's different. And if you're in a trade and you've studied and you've worked out that, hey, with these setups, I can let them run maybe for a few days, maybe for a few weeks if you're a swing trader. If you're a day trader, maybe that's going to be till the end of the day, etc. There's going to be certain things, and that comes down to you breaking rules or sticking to rules, etc. However, that's a different thing from saying, oh, I'm always leaving stuff on the table. By all means, look to extract more profits, look to try and extend those targets when the time's right. But the kind of dilemma we're in, guys, is that if we extend targets on a trade environment that's not conducive to trade a target extension, it becomes a losing trade. So we've gone from making a little bit, and then we've tried to make more, and we end up losing the trade because we're trying to look for, say, 80 pips, 80 ticks, 80 points, when the thing's only rotating in 50, and really 40 is the maximum we could have looked to get out of it. So we're trying to push our will onto the market. We end up losing money, ironically, when we're trying to make more money. So there is that, and I've done videos where we've talked about that before. We look at the rotations of the market and try and get ourselves in tune to work out our price target. But going back to the initial point, how do I avoid leaving money on the table? You can't do it. The best thing to do is to be comfortable with the fact that the market could go anywhere after you close it. As long as you stick to your plan and you have your plan and say, I'm going to come out here, you come out here, you don't care if it rockets off to the moon, you don't care if it collapses through the floor. You stuck to your plan, you executed your trade, you live to fight another day. Hopefully you're putting a bit of money in the account, in the account, in the account, in the account, building the account and learning as you go along. All right, thank you for the comment. Thank you for support if you're a subscriber. See you next one. Take care. Bye-bye.